Good afternoon. How many of you have ever sold something? What if I tell you we all sell something? For 30 years, I have sold capital equipment, the type of deal that takes months to close, has multiple decision makers, and can make or break a quarter. And here's the dangerous part, there is no consolation prize. You either win or walk away with nothing after months of effort. The initial years were brutal. Long meetings, harsh rejections, and the pressure to close at any cost. I learned sales the hard way, not from books or classrooms, but from real negotiations, tough customers, and the pressure to close at any cost. And along the way, I learned something which many people ignore. Do you want to know the secret? The best way to sell is often not sell at all. Now I know what you're thinking. Come on, Ravi, how is it possible to sell without selling? That is like cooking without heat. In my best of my wins, I was not selling in the traditional sense. I was listening. I was asking questions. I was trying to understand what mattered to them the most. I was helping, not persuading. When you shift from convincing to understanding, from pushing to serving, something magical happens. Trust grows, walls come down, and decision starts flowing your way naturally. Today, we live in an area of AI, automation, and information overload. Customers, whether they're CEOs or first time buyers, don't need you for specifications. They can get it from Google or ChatGPT. Information is no longer the X factor. But what they can't get from a Google and ChatGPT is a genuine human connection. A Gartner study found that 77% of B2B buyers found their last purchase complex or difficult. And what helped them? Not product pitches, not the best price, but guidance and problem solving. Harvard Business Review also found the same thing. In high value deals, trust and relationship factor are the major deciding factors. Now, let me take you to one of my early lessons. I was chasing a large industrial clients for months. My product was right, my price was right. I was fairly confident of getting the order. But when the time for the decision came, the client chose the competition. It was a shock. I was angry, disappointed, ready to explode. But then a quote which resonated with me echoed in my mind. Never reply when angry. Never decide when sad. And never promise when happy. I walked away calmly from the outside, but deeply disturbed from inside. Next week, I went to the client again, not to sell, but to help him in an area which is unrelated to my product. No agenda, just help. The client was stunned. How can somebody possibly try to help when he just lost the order? And that day changed everything. Trust grew, and he brought 5 equipment from me over the next years. And the best part, he never involved the competition for any negotiation further. Lessons learned. B2B sales is like a marathon, not a sprint. You have to let go of some battles to win the war. And a genuine, sincere help never goes waste. Here is how I see sales without selling as. Sales without selling is like planting a seed. You don't push the seed to grow. You don't be very clever to it. You prepare the soil. You water it. You allow it some sunlight. and then it grows on its own and in its own time. You push it and it won't grow. You nurture it and it grows. Some seeds are like a bamboo tree. Sometimes a bamboo tree takes 3 years to sprout. And once it sprouts, in one day it can go 3 to 4 feet. Some customers are like this. They may take years to get your trust. But then once they get the trust, they can give bountiful business. And I have found such customers. Patience is the key. These three things has never failed me in business or in life. Number one, listen. Listen deeply to understand, not to reply. Focus on what they want and why, not what you want to sell. And most important, build trust before you need it, because people don't buy products, they buy you. Zig Ziglar has said very nicely, people buy emotionally and then they defend rationally. Two things are very important for trust. One is, like I told you, patience. Some customers may trust you immediately, some may take years, but it's worth the time. And second is integrity. Do what you say and say what you do. Trust is one of the most important variable in B2B sales. Now, here's the best part. This isn't only for salespeople. Like I told you, we all sell. We sell idea to our bosses. We sell vision to our teams. We sell decision to our families. Sales without selling is influence without pressure. So from now onwards, don't think sales as pushing your product or closing a deal. Think of it as opening a relationship. In business, leadership, or in life, try to understand before you try to influence. I began by saying I learned sales the hard way, but my real breakthrough came when I shifted from pushing to serving. So, in your next important conversation, forget the script, forget the pitch, forget what you want. Sincerely listen. Understand what they want and why. Plant the seed, nurture it, watch it grow. Because nature's law are simple. If the process is right, the result has to be right. And that right process, my dear friends, is the art of sales without selling. Thank you very much.